Hi, this is Usha. Welcome to Rathod's IAS classes. In this lecture, we are going to discuss current affairs of 26th March 2021. In this lecture, we are going to discuss 8 topics which are very much relevant to UPSC. So let's get started with our discussion and let us see first article. Title says why no decision on list sent by Collegium Supreme Court asks government. So this article mainly focusing on vacancies that are increasing in high courts. Okay. So recently Collegium sent one list to government for selection or for appointment of judges for high courts. But this article mainly saying that there is no decision which is taken by government regarding list which is sent by Collegium. So because of this, Supreme Court asking this government regarding why there is no decision taken regarding which list which is sent by this Collegium. So in this context, how this article is important regarding UPSC. So you need to refer about appointment process of judges of High Court and as well as Supreme Court, and you have to know about what is this Collegium, okay, and you have to know some important facts regarding Supreme Court and also High Court, and you need to refer about first judge case, second judge case and third judge case as well as NJAC Act regarding this article. So this article will be very important regarding mains point of view, and from prelims you can expect some appointment based questions also in your prelims. And now let us try to understand this article. So this article will be important regarding GS paper 2 under polity. Okay, and now let us see this article in a great detail. First, let us see about context, why it is in news. Supreme Court asked government to clarify status of 55 recommendations which are mainly made by Collegium for judicial appointments to high courts. Okay, so this list sent by Collegium to government which is from 6 months to 1.5 years ago. Okay, so because of this, now Supreme Court asked government to give clarification regarding what are actions that are going to be taken by government regarding 55 recommendations. Okay, out of this 55 recommendations, 44 recommendations they were made to fill vacancies in Calcutta High Court, Madhya Pradesh High Court, Guwahati High Court, Rajasthan High Court and Punjab High Court. Okay, and these recommendations have been pending with government for over 7 months to 1 year. Okay, so from 7 months to 1 year, so recommendations are pending at government side. And now let us see some important details. So if you are talking about vacancies as per March 1 in high courts, for example Patna court, it is having about 60.4% vacancies, and in Calcutta High Court we have about 55.6% vacancies, and in Rajasthan High Court we have 54% vacancies, and in courts like Andhra Pradesh High Court we have about 48.6% 6% vacancies, and in MP court we have 49.1% vacancies. So in this way, in different high courts across country we are seeing there is vacancies. So what will be impact whenever vacancies on courts these are increasing, then what happen, there will be decrease in efficacy of courts, and we can also see there will be pending of cases. So already we have some data that there is increasing of pendency of cases that is seen in both Supreme Courts and as well as High Courts. Mainly to decrease these pendencies, we need to go for fast track courts, and also we need to fill vacancies that are present in Supreme Court and as well as High Court. Okay, so this is about some important details which are highlighted in this article. And now let us try to discuss some facts regarding this article. So first let us see what is this Collegium system. Okay, so you need to know what is this Collegium. This Collegium, it is a system of appointment and transfer of judges that has evolved through judgments of Supreme Court. So this Collegium system came into existence not because of any act which is passed by Parliament and not because of provision that is present in our constitution, but this Collegium came into picture after mainly some judgments of Supreme Court. So if you want to understand this evolution of this Collegium system, so you need to know some series of case. You have to know first judge case, second judge case and as well as third judge case to understand how this Collegium formed. So if you are talking about this first judge case of 1981, it mainly says that it declared primacy of CJI recommendation on judicial appointments and transfers that can be refused for cognizant reason. That means if there is cognizant reason is there, then CJI can give some recommendations, like it can also refuse based on this cognizant reasons. And next one is second judge case of 1993. So in this second judge case, Supreme Court introduced Collegium system. Okay, so in this Collegium system, it mainly talks about appointment and as well as transfer of judges of Supreme Court and as well as High Courts in consultation consultation with CJI. Okay, so in this context, here one question mainly arises. So consultation really meant concurrence or not? Okay, so in this context, second judge case, Supreme Court said that it was not the CJI's individual opinion, but it is opinion of entire institution, that is Collegium. Okay, and later on in third judge case of 1998, it mainly said that Supreme Court mainly went for presidential deference, that is it used Supreme Court on presidential deference, that is from article 143 here. It expanded Collegium into 5 members body. So it have mainly CJ and as well as 4 senior most colleagues or 4 senior most judges. And if you're talking about especially High Court Collegium, it's mainly led by Chief Justice of that High Court and 4 other senior most judges of that High Court. And this Collegium will come up with a list or names of people who are mainly recommended for appointment of judges of High Court as a Collegium. Okay, so this High Court Collegium that will come up with a list. So in this list that contains names who should be appointed as High Court judges, everything. So finally this list will reach its government only after approval by CJ and Supreme Court Collegium. So this list again will be go to this Supreme Court Collegium, and in this Supreme Court Collegium, whenever CJ and as well as 4 other senior members or senior judges of the Supreme Court, whenever they are accepting, and finally it will goes to government. Okay, so judges of higher judiciary, they are appointed only through this Collegium system. So whenever Collegium system which is proposing some list of names that persons to be appointed as judges of High Court or Supreme Court, then government have some limited role here. Okay, because names will be already decided by this Collegium system, and after deciding that, then government will go for appointment of those members as judges of High Courts and Supreme Courts. And if you see procedure here, first one here is Chief Justice of High Court is appointed as per policy having Chief Justices from outside with respective states. Okay, so if you want to appoint Chief Justice, okay, so this Chief Justice should be outside of that respective state, and Collegium takes a call on this elevation, and later on High Court judges are recommended by a Collegium contains CJ and as well as 2 other senior most judges, and this proposal will be initiated only by outgoing Chief Justice of High Court, and they are concerned with consultation of senior most colleagues of High Court, and then recommendation will be sent to CM of that state, and this CM will advise his governor to send this proposal to Union Law Minister. So this is a process that to be followed under this Collegium system. And next important one is criticism about this Collegium system. So this criticism will be important regarding mains point of view. Okay, so first one is there is opaqueness, there is no transparency, no accountability in this Collegium system, and there is also scope of nepotism that is seen because this Collegium will come up with names of people who should be appointed here. So in this case there may be also red tapeism, there may be also nepotism that is present. And next one is there will be embroilment in public controversies, and it also overlooks several talented junior judges and as well as junior advocates who have capability to be appointed as judges of High Court and Supreme Court. So these are some important criticism. And now let us talk about some constitutional provisions regarding appointment of judges. So if you are talking about appointment of judges of Supreme Court, Article 124 talks about this. And if you are talking about appointment of judges of High Court, Article 217 mainly talks about this appointment of judges of High Court. So in this both the case, High Court and Supreme Court, judges will be appointed by President of India. And one important point you should remember here is judges of district courts will be appointed by Governor of State. So this is one important prelims fact that you should need to remember. And now let us see next article. Title says Supreme Court bats for women officers in army. So this article mainly talking about permanent commission in army for women. So this article is very important regarding governance point of view, and this topic is especially important regarding mains. And you can also expect some facts regarding this permanent commission in your prelims also. Okay, so there may be high possibility of getting questions regarding this permanent commission in your prelims. And now let us try to understand this article in a great detail. So now let us see context. So what is this context says? Here Supreme Court held that Army's selective evaluation process, it mainly discriminates against and disproportionately affects women short service commission, that is SSC officers who want to seek this permanent commission. So here Supreme Court mainly said that Army selective evaluation process, so this is discriminating against and as well as it is discriminating disproportionately women who are working as short service commission when they want to seek for this permanent commission. So to understand this, let us see further more details, and after dealing everything then you can understand what is this concept. And if you see some details, it mainly says that evaluation criteria which is set up by Army constituted systemic discrimination against petitioners. So recently what happened, 226 petitioners who are working as short service commissions, they came up or they made appeal to this Supreme Court regarding permanent commission, and recently Supreme Court came up with the judgment also regarding this permanent commission. So we are going to see that one also, please be patient. Okay, so if you see some details, it mainly says that evaluation criteria which is set up by Army, so it is mainly showing some discrimination against women who want to seek permanent commission. So evaluation pattern of women officers mainly has caused some economic and as well as psychological harm to women. And court also ordered that cases of women officers who have applied for this permanent commission, they should be reconsidered. Okay, so whatever evaluation process that is coming up by Army, that is mainly discriminatory against women. Okay, it is not allowing women to take this permanent commission. So in this context, Supreme Court mainly said that Supreme Court ordered that whenever cases of women officers who applied for this permanent commission, so those applications they need to be reconsidered. So this is context why this permanent commission is in news now. And now let us talk about some background regarding this permanent commission. So if you are talking about this short service commissions, women are mainly commissioned into Army for a period of 10 years and it can be extendable till 14 years. So since 10 years to 14 years they can work in this SSC here. And also women are restricted to take roles in specific streams like Army Education Corps, Corps of Signals, Intelligence Corps, Corps of Engineers. So in these areas women are restricted. And if you see on other side, male SSC officers, they could opt for this permanent commission at end of 10 years of their service. For women, they can extendable to 14 years, but there is no option to opt this permanent commission. But for men, after 10 years, they can go and directly adopt or opt for this permanent commission. Okay, so this option will not be available for women officers. So in this way, women also are kept out of any command appointment. So in this way, women could not qualify for government pension. So if they want to get government pension, they need to at least do service for 20 years. But they will end up by doing 10 to 14 years itself. So because of this, they will not also get pensions here. And if you are talking about Supreme Court, there are about 226 women who are working in this SSC. They made appeal to Supreme Court recently, and Supreme Court also gave judgment. So first one, it mainly said that all serving women officers, they will be eligible for this permanent commission. Okay, there should be no discrimination of women. And next one is, whenever we are saying that these women are not eligible for command post, so Article 14 of our Constitution talks about right to equality, that will be violated. And next one is, whenever we are excluding women from combat operations, so it was not examined by court because, so this is not contested in appeal here. So these are some important points that you should remember regarding this article. And now let us see next article. Title says space farming may be possible, says study by top researchers. So this article mainly talking about space farming. So this article will be important regarding science and technology. which comes under GS paper 3. So now let us try to understand this article in a great detail, and this topic will be important regarding prelims. And now if you see, this article mainly talking about space farming. So why this space farming is in news first? So during some deep space missions, astronauts carrying some canned space foods for their survival, and is it possible them to grow their own foods in the space stations? So in that area, collaborative discovery they mainly found, or collaborative study mainly found that one novel bacterial strains abroad in this international space stations. So researchers from NASA Jet Propulsion Lab and as well as University of Hyderabad. So recently they are mainly studying about whenever they are going to space, they can grow their own foods in the space stations or not. So this is one question, they are doing some research. So in this research they came up with some collaborative discovery that there is one novel bacteria strains that are seen in this international space stations. So it is one of important thing, we can say that it also supports life. Okay, and if you see some recent study details, it mainly says that new bacterial strains from different locations they are seen there, and this study may help to create the fuel to help plants withstand such stressful situations. And one important strain they mainly found, that is Methylorobium rhodesianum. Okay, and also they discovered 3 important strains of other bacteria. They are also belonging to some novel species. So these strains mainly reveal there is presence of genes, okay, that are involved in promoting this plant growth. So in this way, this future studies or technology will also help to grow plants in space. So this is about this of this article. And now let us see next article. Title says North Korea launches ballistic missiles. So this article mainly focusing on this ballistic missiles. So I want to give you a small homework. So what are these ballistic missiles? So you have to do some research regarding this. What are these ballistic missiles? So this will comes under part of your static syllabus under GS paper 3, and you can expect some prelims based questions from this ballistic missiles, and you have to see difference between what is this ballistic missiles and what are cruise missiles also. So this is your homework, and don't forget to do your homework. And now let us try to understand this article in a great detail. So this article will be important regarding GS paper 2 under international relations. And now let us try to see map. Wherever it is necessary, I try to come up with map. Okay. So if you see here we have North Korea and here we have South Korea. So South Korea capital is Seoul here, and North Korean capital is Pyongyang. Okay. Pyongyang, it is capital of North Korea, and Seoul is capital of South Korea. So if you see, this is Korean Peninsula. So North Korea, which is sharing boundary with China here, and also here it is sharing boundary with Russia, and here it is sharing boundary with South Korea. So you have to remember, North Korea is sharing boundary with 3 countries, that is China, Russia and South Korea. To east of this North Korea we have Sea of Japan, and to left of this North Korea we have Yellow Sea. So you have to see map in this way, because you can also expect some map based questions in your prelims also. And now let us try to understand this article in a great detail. So if you are talking about context, why it is in news? Because North Korea fired 2 suspected ballistic missiles into sea. So first substantial provocation to the new US administration, that is Joe Biden, that is seen. So as we know, earlier US president was Donald Trump. So whenever this Donald Trump was administering US, so there are bitter challenges with North Korea and as well as Trump, that is seen here. So there is also war like talks that happened between North Korea and US government. So for first time, whenever this North Korea fired 2 suspected ballistic missiles, so it is also one of important substantiated provocation or substantiated challenge for new US administration, that is Joe Biden. And if you see some details here, it mainly says that nuclear armed North has a long history of using weapon tests to ramp up tensions in this region. So if you see about this test, if you see some details regarding this test, so this missile traveled about 450 kilometers and it reached a maximum altitude of 60 kilometers. So this is one of important achievement of North Korea. And next one is, because of this testing of this ballistic missile, now in South Korea they went for emergency meeting, okay, emergency meeting in South Korea National Security Council, and this National Security Council of South Korea, which mainly expressed some deep concern here. So why, what is the difference, what is happening between North Korea and South Korea? You need to know that. Okay, in this context you need to know about even Korean War or Korean crisis. That will be part under our world history. Okay, world history, and also it will comes under international relations. So if you're talking about this North Korea, which mainly banned from developing any ballistic missiles under UNSC resolutions, and also under multiple international sanctions over its weapon program also. So in this context, North Korea mainly banned from developing of any ballistic missiles under this United Nations Security Council resolutions, and also there are multiple international sanctions imposed on North Korea for this testing of this ballistic missiles. And if you see what will be impact, so first important thing that you should remember here is it mainly threatens peace and security of our country and as well as the region, and it also leads to violation of United Nations Security Council resolution also. So these are some impact regarding that move. And now let us try to understand some facts regarding this Pyongyang. So it mainly made rapid progress in its capabilities under Mr. Kim Jong-un. So the testing missiles, they are capable of reaching entire continental US as tensions they are mounted in 2017. So from 2017 onwards, there is increased tensions between this North Korea and US that is seen. So because of this reason, mainly US pulled back on some joint military exercise with South Korea also. Okay. And on February 2019, here Hanoi summit broke out some sanctions relief to North Korea here. And if you see some background regarding this article, so we need to know about Korean War or Korean crisis. So ever since Korean has been divided since 1945, Korean Peninsula mainly filled with some mutual hatred, and as well as there is some clashes between North and as well as South Korea. That led to Korean War, a breakdown of this Korean War between 1950 to 1953. So this Korean War mainly ended with armistice agreement. So this armistice agreement, it is not called as a peace settlement here. So though there is increase in violence, that increased violence or violence continued in this region. So because of this, US troops, they mainly remained in South Korea as part of mutual defense treaty that signed between South Korea and USA. Okay, so later on it mainly threatened North Korea, which began to build its nuclear arms and starting its nuclear weapon program in 1980s. So later on, after this mutual defense treaty that is already signed between South Korea and USA, so because of this, whenever there is increase in violence in this North Korea and South Korea region, so US remained its troops, US troops or remained in this South Korea. So later on it mainly threatened North Korea, which began to build its nuclear arms, and as well it started to come up with this nuclear weapons program in 1980s onwards. And later in 1992, North Korea mainly committed to denuclearization, but it not yet enforced in this region. Okay, and now US continue to term this North Korea, and US put this North Korea and an axis of evil, so which continued till 21st century. So this is about some violence. So this is about this Korean War. Okay, so you need to understand this background, only then only you can understand what is happening and you can interrelate them in a good manner. And now let us see next article. Title says Manila sends more ships to South China Sea. So this article mainly talking about South China Sea. So this article will be important regarding international relations, which comes under GS paper 2. And regarding the South China Sea, we discussed number of times regarding facts. Okay, so now we are going to see what is written in this article only. So now let us see why it is in news. So Philippines military ordered the deployment of more Navy ships in South China Sea. So why Philippine military mainly ordered for deployment of more Navy ships in the South China Sea? What happened? Near this Philippines, there is one important bay. Okay, so in that bay there is increased presence of Chinese ship that is seen. So because of increased China's ships in that bay, already North Korea warned China to remove those ships. But only some amount of ships are removed, but there are large amount of ships that are still present in that bay. Okay, so because of this, now Philippine military ordered for deployment of large number of Navy ships in South China Sea. Okay, so if you see some details regarding this article, it mainly says that China claims almost the entire resource-rich sea, that is South China Sea. And China was accused 1 year that US this week's to efforts to intimidate and provoke others. Mainly they are parking its vessels in this Winston Reef. Okay, so in this Whitsun Reef, so there is increase in number of Chinese ships are present in this area. So now if you see some important details which are given in this article, it mainly says that Manila has ordered Beijing to recall 183 boats at the reef. They are around 320 kilometers west of this Palawan Islands. So what happened, it is very much near to Philippines. So Philippines mainly says that whenever they are going for parking of these ships near this Winston Reef, so that is mainly incursion of this sovereign territory. So because of this, Chinese order to remove those ships. And there are about 220 boats they were detected by Philippine Coast Guard, and now recently they went for military aerial patrol over this reef, and they found 183 of them, they are still present in this Winston Reef area. So what is Chinese response? Chinese mainly says that these are fishing boats. So these fishing boats are suffering from poor weather. So because of that, we went for parking at this reef. So this is Chinese stand. And now let us try to see map here. I try to draw where this Whitsun Reef is present. So here this part is entirely Philippines, right? So this part is entirely Philippines. And here we see this reef is present. So whenever near this reef, so whenever we are going for docking of these ships, then it will be threat to sovereignty of Philippines. Okay, and now let us see about the South China Sea in this map in a clear manner. So here we have China. Okay, so this is mainly South Korea and North Korea here. Okay, and we have here Vietnam. Okay, so if you're talking about this South China Sea, it is most disputed area. So China, it is coming up with 9 dashes. So this red color line is 9 dash line. Okay, and it is mainly claiming territory over this all these things. So because of this, Chinese having mainly some disputes with Vietnam, and here some areas like Brunei, Philippines, even Taiwan. So in these areas, it is mainly having some disputes with Malaysia, etc. here. So you need to remember 3 important islands here. So we have Parcel Islands, and we have Scarborough Shoal Islands, and we have Spratly Islands. Okay, so you have to remember these 3 areas here. Okay, first one is Parcel Islands, Scarborough Shoal Island, and Spratly Island. You need to arrange them from north to south and also from south to north. Okay, so in this way you can expect some prelims based questions in your prelims. Okay, I hope it is clear now. Now let us see next article. Title says Suez Canal temporarily halts navigation. So this article mainly talking about Suez Canal. So this article will be important regarding international relations, which comes under GS paper 2. So what happened in this Suez Canal? So this is one important big container ship here. Okay, so this ship mainly stuck in this Suez Canal. So it is about 400-meter long ship, and you have to remember name of that ship for sure. Okay, so name here is MV Ever Given. Okay, EVERGIVEN. So this is name of the ship. So in prelims you can expect, so Ever Given is in news. So what it is related to? So Ever Given, it is ship stuck in Suez Canal. So this article is very important from prelims point of view. So you can also expect some prelims based statements from this Suez Canal, and also even this Ever Given ship. Okay, so now let us try to understand this article in a great detail. So before that, let us try to see map here. So here we have Asia, and here we have Africa. So we are connecting this Mediterranean Sea with Red Sea, that here we have this Suez Canal. So this Suez Canal, which is mainly artificial port, okay, artificial canal. So because of this, it led to decreasing of distance between Europe and Asia, such that led to increase in trade between Britishers and India in earlier time, okay, during pre-independence era. So now let us try to understand this article in a great detail. So whenever anything which comes in news, you have to try to open your atlas and you have to see location of that. So it will be very important to understand concept, and also it will be very important to answer map based questions also. So if you see context, it mainly says that owners of a giant container vessel blocking in Suez Canal. So they said that they are facing extreme difficulty to refloat that container vessel. So in this way, it is mainly prompting Egypt to suspend navigation through one of world's busiest shipping lanes. So if you're talking about this Suez Canal, so it is one important connecting link. So most of this trade that will be happen through this Suez Canal itself. So whenever there is any blockade happening, that will lead to increase in traffic jam, right? So because of increase in traffic here, so we cannot allow small ships to pass through it. So because of this, it will also have some impact globally because it is one of busiest shipping lanes. And if you see some details, it mainly says that MV Ever Given, it is a 400 meters long vessel. It mainly stuck down because of sandstorm. About 59 meters wide container ship, they wedged diagonally across this entire canal that led to striking of this big container ship in this Suez Canal. So what will be impact? So already we are seeing there is some impact in our global oil market. Okay, so this global oil market will got hit and crude oil prices may increase by 6%. So this will be impact of this event. And now let us see some facts regarding this Suez Canal. So this Suez Canal, it is an artificial sea level waterway which is running through north to south. Okay, it is running through across Isthmus of Suez in Egypt. So this is one important prelims fact. And this one is it mainly connects Mediterranean Sea with this Red Sea. And it separates this African continent from Asia as we discussed in our map, right? So this Suez Canal also provides shortest maritime route between Europe and land lying around Indian Ocean as well as Western Pacific Oceans. So it is one of major source of energy economy for Egypt also. And it is one of most heavily used shipping lanes in our world, and it covers about 12% of trade by volume, and it provides a crucial link for oil and natural gas resources and cargo being shipped from east to west through this Suez Canal. So this is about importance of this Suez Canal, and I want to give you second homework, so please know about history of this Suez Canal. Okay, so this history will be important regarding mains point of view. And now let us see next article. Okay, so this article mainly talking about faster and sooner. So this article appeared in page number 6. So if you're talking about faster and sooner, this article mainly talking about this COVID-19 vaccination. So why we need to go for COVID-19 vaccination? And there is also another article regarding decreased exports of COVID-19 vaccination. So why we are going for decreased exports here? Because we are seeing phase 2 or second phase or second wave of this COVID-19 infections, and there is increasing day by day. So per day we are seeing there are more than some thousands of cases that are seen across country. So because of increase of thousands of cases here, so we need to go for urgent need of this COVID-19 vaccination. So it is just 3 weeks after rolled out of second phase of mass vaccination. So in this second phase, we are going for vaccinating people who are more than 45 years, okay, plus comorbidities, okay, and as well as we are going for vaccinating people who are above 60 years without comorbidities here. So here we are going for mass vaccination for two groups of people, that is people for above 60 years and people who are above 45 years but they are suffering from other comorbidities. Comorbidities means in this same condition they are facing 2 or more diseases. For example, if they are facing some hypertension but they are also facing other diseases like kidney disorder, or we can say cardiac diseases, or any other disease like diabetes mellitus, etc. So in this way, in this comorbidities, so these people are more vulnerable to this COVID-19 vaccines. So India has now undertaken course correction here. So now we are mainly thinking to vaccinate anyone who is above 45 years if they are having comorbidities or if they are not having comorbidities, because this section of people, they are more vulnerable to this COVID-19. Okay, and we are going to follow this UK model of vaccination. It is mainly based on age bands rather than comorbidities here. So in this way, whenever we are going for vaccinating more than 45 years of people with or without comorbidities, then millions of people, they will become eligible to receive vaccination and they can be protected here. So what is issue? Issue here, we are facing vaccine hesitancy. So vaccine hesitancy means even though vaccines are present in market, So people are not coming outside to take this vaccination. So there is what might be reasons. So reasons might be here increasing of misinformation spreading, and there is lack of information regarding vaccines. So there is lack of data regarding safety and efficacy. So there is lack of adverse drug event monitoring. So these are the reasons that are might contributing for this vaccine hesitancy now. So because of this, now number of people who are taking this vaccine have decreased, but now because of this second wave of coronavirus, now there is increased willingness of people. They are coming towards outside and they are willing to get vaccinated now. Okay, so now number has been increasing steadily. So mainly to decrease number of vulnerabilities to this COVID-19, so we need to go for rapid rate of mass vaccination drive in India. So this is gist of this article. And now let us see next article. Title says remove the wedges in India-Bangladesh ties. So why this India-Bangladesh ties in news? So our India, it is visiting Bangladesh. Okay. So because of this India-Bangladesh ties is in news. So this article is important regarding international relations, which comes under GS paper 2. And for this year mains, for sure you can get question regarding this India-Bangladesh. Okay, you have to prepare this for sure. Okay, so please keep my words in your mind. So in GS paper 2, you are going to get question for sure regarding this India-Bangladesh ties. And now let us try to understand this article in a great detail. So it is a very good detail, and we need to discuss each and every point regarding this article. So this article mainly focusing on India-Bangladesh relations. So if you're talking about friendship between India and Bangladesh, it is evolving over 50 years. Okay, so Bangladesh, it is going to celebrate this 50th anniversary of their independence. Okay, so because of this, our India mainly went for visit to Bangladesh. Okay, India got invitation from Bangladesh for visit. Okay, so if you're talking about relationship between India and Bangladesh, it is evolving over 50 years. So we have good relation with Bangladesh regarding political, diplomatic, military and also humanitarian support. So during this Bangladesh Liberation War of 1971, so it led to Bangladesh independence. So to understand this, we need to go back. Okay, so earlier before 1971, so we have Pakistan, right? So Pakistan, it is present in this area, and also Pakistan, this is present in this area. So in this area, Pakistan is called as West Pakistan, and this area is called as East Pakistan. So in 1971, one war that happened, right? So in this war, India also mostly supported to this East Pakistan, and finally that led to liberation of Pakistan, that is East Pakistan, and that led to formation of this Bangladesh. So Bangladesh formed after 1971 Bangladesh Liberation War. So in this war, India mainly contributed. So nearly about 3,900 Indian soldiers, they gave their life. Okay, about 10 million Bangladeshi refugees, they took shelter in India. So if you're talking about areas of cooperation between India and Bangladesh after independence, that is in post-independence, India-Bangladesh relationship has oscillated as Bangladesh passed through different regimes. So if you're talking about regimes which passed in Bangladesh, you have to remember this for sure to understand some background of Bangladesh. So first one is father of nation of Bangladesh, that is Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. So recently he also got Gandhi Peace Prize. Okay, so he also awarded Gandhi Peace Prize recently. So this father of nation of Bangladesh, that is Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Okay, he is father of Sheikh Hasina, assassinated on August 15th, 1975. So later on, Bangladesh went into military rule, and later on it led to rise of General Zaur Rahman. He became president, and after this Rahman became president, he also assassinated in 1981, and later on Bangladesh came up into military-led government. Okay, and later on in 1991, parliamentary democracy that established in Bangladesh. So after establishment of this parliamentary democracy in Bangladesh, relationship have gone through highs and lows between India and Bangladesh. So in last decade, India and Bangladesh relations, they have warmed up. Okay, now we are entering into a new era of coordination, cooperation, and also we are moving beyond historical and as well as some cultural ties here. So finally, we are becoming more assimilated in areas of trade, connectivity, energy and defense with Bangladesh. Okay, and if you're talking about first area, that is trade. So in trade, Bangladesh became India's biggest trading partner in South Asia, and exports of India include $9.21 billion as per financial year 2018-19, and India is importing mainly about $1.04 billion products from Bangladesh, and also India is also offering duty-free access to multiple Bangladeshi products. So in this way, we are having good cooperation in field of trade. And next one is regarding development and cooperation. India extending 3 lines of credit to Bangladesh. It mainly contributes about $8 billion for construction of roads, railways, ports and as well as bridges in Bangladesh. And if you're talking about tourism sector, Bangladesh make up a large portion of tourists in India. So out of 1 for every 5 tourists, they are being from Bangladesh. That is, Bangladeshis, they contribute for at least 1 for 5 tourists in India. And Bangladesh accounts for more than 35% of India's international medical patients. And India is very much famous for medical tourism for Bangladesh. It contributes more than 50% of India's revenue from this medical tourism. So that will come from Bangladesh itself. And if you're talking about next area, that is regarding connectivity. So between two countries, between India and Bangladesh, so connectivity is greatly improved from last decade. So there is direct bus service between Kolkata and Agartala, which runs route of 5,000 kilometers. So if you see here, so here we have Bangladesh, here we have Sikkim, so and so. So from Kolkata to Agartala, we are having a direct road service. But if Bangladesh it is not supporting us, we need to go through Chicken corridor and we need to go in this way to reach this Agartala here, right? So in this way, whenever we are having this direct bus services, it will decrease length of distance and also it will save time for journey. So this is first important thing. And next one is there is 3 passenger and freight railway services between India and Bangladesh. And recently 1.9 kilometers long bridge that is called as Maitri Setu. So it is mainly connecting Sabroom in India with Ramgarh in Bangladesh. So recently we came up with this. And Bangladesh also allows some shipments of goods from Mangola and Chittagong seaports also. So now let us talk about issues which are facing between India and Bangladesh. So every coin has 2 sides. So first side we studied about positives and second side we need to study about negatives. So what are issues? So first one is there is unresolved Teesta water sharing. So it is one of issue that is mainly present between India and Bangladesh. And there is also increased border killings, okay, in year 2020. So this report mainly says that there are highest number of border shootings by border security forces. So most of people they killed include civilians, cattle traders and people who want to illegally cross border, they are killed at border. Okay, and next one is regarding NRC. So because of this implementation of NRC, there are some bad relationships that we are facing with India and Bangladesh. And India mainly want to address the deportation of illegal Muslim immigrants also. And next one is China, right? So most of countries which are present across our or sharing boundary with India like Nepal, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. So in these nearby areas or neighborhood countries of India, they are mainly aligned towards China here. So Chinese presence is increasing in these countries. It is coming up with number of infrastructure projects and as well as development projects, defense investments and as well as trade, etc. So this is one cause of concern between India and Bangladesh. And what is conclusion? Finally, India and Bangladesh relations, they have been gaining some positive momentum from last decade. So in this context, whatever disputes which are present between India and Bangladesh, we need to resolve that to further increase our relationship between Bangladesh. And we need to work on 3 C's like cooperation, collaboration and consolidation. Okay, so this is gist of this article. I hope it is clear now. Now let us see today's mains question. So before this question, I want to make a small announcement on this platform. We came up with this Current Affairs Package course. So in this course, we are exclusively focusing on current affairs and also mains answer writing practice. So if you want to give your attempt in 2022, then this will be a good good codes and also excellent codes. Okay, so because before this prelims you need to cover at least 1.5 years current affairs for sure. So if you join this course now, then you can easily cover 1.5 years current affairs in a comprehensive manner. And we will be providing daily news analysis, daily PIB analysis, daily current affairs PDF, and we will be providing weekly current affairs session, and we will be conducting prelims test on Sundays, and we will be providing video solutions, and we will be also providing you editorials PDF separately. So in this way, this course will be very useful to cover current affairs in a comprehensive manner. And next one is mains answer writing practice. So many students, they ignore importance of this answer writing practice. So because of this, finally they will end up in failing in mains. So because of this, don't take choice of writing practice. Okay, so because it is very important to get more marks, and this will be helpful to see your name in final list. Okay, so in this way, this course is very useful to clear UPSC. So try to join this course and don't take this course as a choice. So details of this course are given in description box. So if you want to talk to me directly, so please call me on this number, that is 8074765513. So this is number you can call to me and you can talk to me directly. So now let us see mains question. What are issues we facing in India-Bangladesh relations, and suggest some steps that can put an end to long-standing issues in our relationship. So you have to write answer within word limit of 150 words. So try to write answer. So by this we are concluding today. I hope you enjoyed this lecture. Please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to like, share and comment my videos. And don't forget to enroll this current affairs package. Thank you so much.